quite often we hear the terms diet and dieting used interchangeably. However, they can be two totally different things. So what is the big difference between the two? That's what I want to talk about today. So let's get started. All right, so if we're going with textbook definitions of what diet is and what dieting is, this video is like all of like 30 seconds, right? Your diet is what you eat. It is the food that you eat. Now, normally when we think of a diet, it's a more natural, organic type thing. It's the foods that you grew up eating. It's what your family eats. It's what your neighbors eat. It's what your region of the world eats. If you think about it, Southeast Asia, there's a lot of rice. Mediterranean, a lot more fish. Middle Eastern, a lot more spices. So this is what the diet of these regions are, and therefore this is what you're eating, and that's what your diet is. Now, if we're talking about dieting, this tends to be, a change-up. It's usually done short-term, right? And it's usually done for some sort of health benefit, or seemingly for a health benefit. So if you go on, so like a low carb diet for 3 weeks, you do that, and then you go back to like your normal diet. So that is the biggest difference between the two. One is a very natural, organic thing. The other one is something where you make a change to that. Now, for me, the biggest problem I have with this, with dieting, that is, and this might be an unpopular thing to say, but dieting can really lead you down the path towards disordered eating, right? You may think that you're doing something good for yourself. And in most cases, it's not going to go that far because you're going to do something short term, right? You're going to do it for like a month, or you're going to do it for like 2 weeks, or, a 3-day fast or something like that. And you're going to go back to doing what you normally do. And that's completely fine. When it starts going further past that, then we really have to look at things. When you're doing highly restrictive diets, when you're not allowing yourself to eat certain things because of some irrational thought behind it, right? Like if you're not eating something because of like moral or religious reasons, that's completely fine. I get that. Like if you're vegan because you don't want to harm animals, sure, I get that. I'm an omnivore. I eat everything. I don't restrict anything out of my diet. There's things I like. There's things I don't like. That's the only thing that's that changes up. However, if you start really going down like a path of preventing yourself from certain things because of a specific reason, you really need to start looking at your relationship to food, right? And so when we think of disordered eating, right, anorexia and bulimia, those are two major ones that we think of. But there's also other things like orthorexia, which is if you only eat clean foods, right? Like no processed whatsoever. If I put something processed in front of you, it's like you wouldn't touch it at all. You just couldn't even bring yourself to eat that. This is where we start running into problems, all right? Because we're not doing something that's natural to our body. We're doing things where we're going down a dark path, psychologically, about stuff. I can't eat that piece of birthday cake because I might gain a pound, or it's got something red in it. I've seen people that will only eat things of certain colors. It's crazy. Whatever reason, like if you can't get past certain thing, if you can't eat a certain thing because of some preconceived negative, outcome that's going to happen to you, you're down the path of disordered eating. And this happens a lot, particularly when people start looking at calories, certain things like carbs. People demonize carbs like crazy. I eat carbs all the time. I don't gain weight. I don't have a high metabolism either, but I just don't gain weight from it. I actually lose weight easier if I eliminate carbs out of my diet. However, I don't balloon up to 300 pounds if I eat carbs. A lot of times people can end up with a very unhealthy relationship with food because of the dieting that they're doing, and it really comes down to being disordered eating and causes problems for them. So that's what I want you to think about. If you're the type of person that does dieting periodically, you know, most of the time you're going to be fine. I don't agree with it, right? Like, I think you should just learn how to have a healthy relationship with food, learn how to eat healthy, learn what your intake should be for your body and everything. I don't think you should have to do something like a cleanse or a detox or a 3-week program or like a 72-hour fast or anything like that. You should just learn how to have a healthy relationship with food. That's my opinion. If you feel like you don't have a healthy relationship with food and it's becoming problematic, then I would definitely recommend seeking help. Right? You may need to talk to a dietitian or a nutritionist. You may need to talk to your general practitioner. You may need to speak with a therapist, because it can get bad. It can get really bad for people. And if you feel like that's happening to you, then I really want you to think about getting some help for it, because the health ramifications for it can be absolutely terrible for people. So that's what I want you to think about today: the difference between diet and dieting, and the difference between healthy dieting and unhealthy disordered eating dieting. So there it is. I just wanted to mention this because I do have some videos that are coming up in regards to food concepts, and I figured let me just throw this one out there. So if you like this video, then please click the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you want to hear more of what I got to say, then subscribe, turn on notifications, and find out when new videos are coming out. And leave me some comments down below. Are you the type of person that goes on, diets frequently? Do you change up the way you eat? Do you think they're healthy for you? Do you think they're unhealthy for you? Have you had problems in the past with disordered eating because of dieting? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. So until we speak again, be well, be safe, and be kind to everybody.